Cathie. We are in a new era. We have a new SARS Commissioner, Edward Kieswetter. And one of the very first things Edward did was announce that people who are earning less than 500,000, 41,666 Rand a month, do not have to submit returns under certain circumstances. What we want to discuss now is what are those circumstances that ensure you still have to submit. Would you like to share them with us?
So it is exciting news. I'm not sure how many people actually will be able to comply with all the requirements that say you don't need to submit. The first thing is you need to have worked for only one employer, and all your income needs to come from that one employer. So if you have any other income from perhaps interest in an investment or savings account, or if you get rental income because you rent out your cottage at the sea, you have to submit.
And Cathie, when you said one company, what happens if there's a merger and acquisition?
If your tax certificate is still from the subsidiary, let's assume, then there is no issue because you still have one income from one employer. But if you have been taken over by a new holding company and you have some of your income from the first employer and you get a second tax certificate from the other one, even though you feel you've been working for the same company, it's two PAYE numbers or two company reference numbers, and so you would have to submit.
And Cathie, just to finalise, what would you advise people who are in that earning bracket to do now? How do they check whether they should submit or shouldn't submit?
Well, I think it's easy for people, for instance, who have medical expenses that they want to claim that haven't been covered by the medical aid. They clearly are going to submit. Or if you have a travel allowance, you want to claim your travel expenses back, you're going to submit. Otherwise, I would go onto the e-filing sites, or SARS has published now that they have a Mobi app, which means you can do this on the train or on the bus. Go in and check that all the income reflected by SARS is actually correct. The information they have is from employers, banks, medical aids, pensions, provident funds. It all needs to be merged by them and should reflect what you have earned.
So the advice really is that don't take it as read because you earn less than 500,000 that you shouldn't submit. You need to double check that you fall within the boundaries of the SARS requirements for non-submission.